Hey, the truth will be televised. The truth will be televised. Okay? The truth will be televised. Katt Williams interview up 2024. We just started. We not even a full week in. All right, Katt Williams with Unc Shay. Man, he exposed the truth about the industry. All right, he exposed the truth about a lot of these comedians, about really how a lot of people within the industry, man, how it's much foul play. All right, it's a lot of foul play. And one thing I noticed about what's going on after this interview is that nobody responded and said he was lying. Nobody said Katt Williams was lying at all. So right out the gate, one thing that you know Katt Williams is going to be is authentic, and he's a truth teller. He's going to stand on the truth. He's always been like that. But now you see him on a major platform like Unc Shay, who's doing an amazing job with Nightcap with Unc Shay and also being on First Take. It's time for him to speak his truth. And the people that he talked about, Katt Williams, instantly off the interview, Shannon, as soon as he said how your day was, it was on go from right there. 2 hours straight, a pure, authentic, truthful, interview. What I loved about the interview is that Shannon didn't overstep. He let Katt Williams ISO and really just speak his truth. That's why I think everybody wants to be on Unc Shay's and also like Shannon Sharpe's podcast and also his interview process that he's gonna let you talk and express yourself. A lot of those people that commented about Shannon Sharpe's interview style, goofy, because I don't like when interviewers cut off the interviewee or who they're talking to all the time just to get their point across or also to read the questions that they were supposed to. Shannon Sharpe had those cue cards queued up. It didn't matter. Katt Williams went in, and I'm glad he let him talk and express himself because everything that Katt Williams said, it's receipts for that. It's receipts for that. So attacking what he talked about initially, just first off of Cedric Entertainer stealing his jokes, which there are receipts for that. He brought up the interview that Ricky Smiley had with Unc Shay. And receipts for that. Ricky Smiley was basically saying like, he was supposed to be Money Mike and Katt Williams was supposed to be the Santa Claus. And I wanted Katt Williams to say how he felt just because we don't get to see the other side of things. When a lot of people come to these interviews, they really not authentic. They trying to promote something. You don't really get the best view of themselves. With Katt Williams, what you love about him is he always going to be authentic. And he has stood on the right side, all right? Stood on the right side, and one thing that was pivotal, what he said is race is not where we draw the line. It's either God's side or the other side, all right? God's side or the other side. And he don't play no game on the other side, all right? We on God's side over here. So this was a beautiful interview for him to really just express himself and just to show what type of legend he is. Everybody knows Katt Williams, but this was important because you get to see somebody that made it, that didn't have the industry back in like these other people, that didn't have to go in these certain back rooms and do something crazy just for him to get a position in the industry. All money ain't good money. And that's one pivotal thing that he talked about in this interview. He going at Said, he's going at Ricky Smiley. He talked about Steve Harvey and the truth behind Steve Harvey and him having a toupee, high top toupee when he was when he became a star. He just exposing a lot of things that that they talked about on Unc Shay's platform, but also he's just rebutting. He's responding to a lot of it because Ricky Smiley and also Steve Harvey talked about Katt Williams within their interviews, and he's setting the record straight. He didn't just talk about them even. He brought up Faison Love. I got scared for a minute because my name Faison, but he brought up Faison Love. Talked about that. He talked about a lot of things. It just within the industry. He talked about Martin and he talked about Kevin Hart as being an industry plant. It's a lot of things that he talked about. And one of the things that also stood out to me as well too is that one, the receipts shows that he's not lying. Two, that he is somebody that has worked inside these spaces to actually know how things are operating within the industry. He knows firsthand. That's why a lot of times you don't see Katt Williams in a lot of big, in I wouldn't say big movies, but like in that type of environment because he's not saying yes to just anything. You know, he talked about Diddy parties and just being able to say no when a lot of your favorite comedians, your favorite actresses or actors will absolutely say yes and be in those type of rooms and those type of environments. And like he said, in 2024, the truth will be exposed. And you're starting to see that as we talk, as also you got at the same time what's going on is this Epstein list, the truth will be exposed. And I really love and respect Katt Williams because ultimately he just telling his truth. He's telling his truth about his experiences within the industry and how you can't really blackball a superstar. That's just what it is. No matter what, if Katt Williams releases a stand-up or wherever he goes, he's going to bring his fans. He is funny. He's talented. He's a superstar. And it's a lot of things in the interview that I didn't know about him. I didn't know he had kids that he adopted. I didn't know he moved out at 13. So a lot of those things were good things to know. And also you get to see Katt Williams' character for real, and that he just honestly authentic and genuinely him. Another thing that he pointed out that was telling to me, and everybody say, oh, it's this conspiracy theory, but he's actually been there to see. Saying no to these roles where they're emasculating a lot of black males, where you have to dress up as a woman to actually get somewhere in the industry. And when you say no, then the industry really don't mess with you. If you don't say no to a lot of these situations, well, you already know what's going to happen then. And one thing that stuck out to me is when he talked about, you know, his experience with Martin. He was like, man, hey, Martin basically like, hey, Katt Williams, hey, I want you to be in my next superstar movie, my film, once I get back good. And Katt Williams like, I got you, man. I got you for sure. And come to find out, it was Big Mama House 2. And he was just like disappointed because, first of all, his certain morals and principles is not going to allow him to wear a dress just to conform to industry standards. Simple as that. Brandon T. Jackson also spoke about how he regrets, which is some more receipts, how he regrets dressing up as a woman in Big Mama House 2 and how his career moved forward after that. And also how he regretted it because he went against his morals and principles. And that's something Katt Williams didn't want to do. And it's not just singling out Martin because he's not the only one. It's a plethora of our amazing black male actors who dress up in a dress and you see how their career elevates from that point on. And it just goes to show you that if you don't conform to a certain agenda within the industry, then you're going to be blackballed. That's really what it is. And what was telling to me is that what everybody said in their response, they kept it together. They kept it together. They didn't say too much. Their tone wasn't crazy. You know, you said responded. Tiffany Haddish responded. You had Kevin Hart respond. Ricky Smiley responded. Ice Cube responded. Even Katt Williams even had Ice Cube respond. And I love Ice Cube, but Ice Cube was he was stuttering over his words, you know. But he did say it was a lot of facts to what Katt Williams was saying. He did say that. It was 100% facts of what Katt Williams was saying. Ludacris responds, hey, we love Ludacris, but Ludacris ain't the time for no freestyle. You know, it was dope, but it ain't no time for no freestyle. Katt Williams addressed a lot of things, and then once he came out and addressed those things, it got quiet. And I just really want to shout out to Katt Williams and also Shannon Sharpe because 48 hours and 20 plus million record. This is one of the biggest interviews ever. Like ever. I'm talking about ever. I'm talking about bigger than Birdman Breakfast Club interview. I'm talking about on that scale of big. And the reason why is because somebody is authentic and genuinely talking about their experiences. And it's not just the fact that he's just talking about other people. He's just exposing the truth. That's honestly what it is. He just really honestly exposing the truth on what's really going on behind closed doors that we probably don't know about. And the things that we do know about, what we say that as conspiracy theorists, he kind of cleared that a lot. He kind of cleared that a lot because within his talk, just having an understanding of how this goes. Why am I also being able to sell out shows and have 12 stand-up comedy? Because my talent, it just supersedes all the BS. That's ultimately that's just what it is. It supersedes all the BS. And like I said, just a rebuttal, I love what Shannon Sharpe did. He allowed Katt Williams to have this space to talk, express himself, and go into depth about things that we wanted to hear, for real. And as you're going to see more and more, you're going to see these receipts, because the internet will internet. The internet will internet. Right after that interview, I seen resurfaced clips of him, Katt Williams, and Steve Harvey when they was in Detroit, when Katt Williams was just going in on Steve Harvey. I've seen instances where we seen Cedric the Entertainer just stole his jokes. And that's another conversation that goes on. It's just like, people say, oh, well, Katt Williams wasn't known, but you still are stealing my material. You're using my material for your personal gain and did not even give me credit for it. So no matter how many years later, if we squashed it, that's still there. That's still what the truth is. That's just what the truth is. Another instance where he talked about Steve Harvey and the Kings of Comedy and original Kings of Comedy, how it was Steve's show when they were going on tour, but how he would want Bernie Mac to really close out the show because nobody wanted to go behind Bernie Mac because of how immensely talent Bernie Mac was. Bernie Mac was just real, and nobody wanted to go behind that type of act. But with Katt Williams, everything he said adds up. He talked about Kevin Hart being in the industry playing, and right after Paper Soldiers, him being into soul playing and getting the solo deal, and him buying out Comedy Central, like doing certain things. And I'm not the one to say that Kevin Hart is not talented, but what he is saying, it matches up. It just matches up with the receipts, honestly. And nobody has came out. That's one thing that's been telling. Nobody has came out and refuted to what he was saying. They just had a response to what he was saying, and that was just trying to brush it off or call it a circus and things of that nature. But that's one thing we like to see. Bring that back in 2024. The truth tellers, the real authentic people, the real genuine people, And he was telling the truth in the interview because he did not stutter not 1 second. Not 1 second did he stutter. Everything came out fluently of what he wanted to say. And it was his time. It's his turn. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's fair game too. We could say it's comedian beef, but at the end of the day, these are human beings too. If somebody say something about you and you haven't had a chance to rebuttal, then yeah, for sure. And I think this podcast is going to be, this interview is going to be at like 30 million probably in the next 2 to 3 days. It's already at 22 million as we speak, which is the most off of any interview with any type of celebrity. And one thing too, as soon as this came out, you're going to have some people that are looking for Katt Williams to talk on their platform. Joe Rogan, he has his good platform over there, but look here, we ain't trying to talk to you because you see now the looks that Shannon Sharpe is getting. So now everybody want to be included. Nobody in their right mind on these other platforms was thinking, okay, well, I want the Katt Williams interview. Nobody was thinking that before Unc Shay did it. And I feel like Unc Shay is now to the point where he's become, and I ain't saying he doesn't have to do First Take, but his brand has become bigger than ESPN. It's become bigger than that because now when we look for a sports podcast, we look for Nightcap, him and Ocho or Gilbert Arenas. Now when we look for certain content, we're looking at Unc Shay in his interviews, and it's more to come. And I feel like the next interview, just in my opinion, I would want to see, because this aligns with the truth tellers out there, Monique. I want to see Monique on the platform next because I want to see what they say. And one thing that really stuck out to me, like I said, it's just God's side and the other side. Like you not being able to be bought out. And that's one thing that's prevalent, that people are able to be bought. People have a price tag. And that's one thing I'm very strong on and stern on, is that I'm on God's side. It's no amount of money that can make me exchange anything for anything or do anything that go against my morals or principles and my integrity or my background as an individual. No, That's why I think that's why the masses, and that's why we are looking at Katt Williams' interview and just like, okay, yeah, this is a real one, because he's not conforming to what everybody else is conforming. Everything else you see on TV, it's entertainment. It's an act. You know, these people behind closed doors, it's a lot of foul play going on. So, hey, man, I really enjoyed this interview. It was literally 2 hours and 46 minutes of pure greatness, for real. Because, like, I loved it from the beginning all the way to the end of the interview, because throughout that whole interview, you can just tell Katt Williams, his intentions are pure, and he's actually telling the truth. And there's receipts to back everything that he's saying. And before I end this conversation, you know, we talked about the best comedians. All right, the best comedians, my best comedians. We talked about it on the pod before, but my favorite and my top 5 comedians, number 1 was always for me Bernie Mac. All right, Bernie Mac was untouchable. Bernie Mac. I would say probably a close second is Dave Chappelle. Katt Williams is definitely in there for me. I would say, honestly, another personal favorite of mine is Mike Epps. And honestly, because my list, it kind of alters and changes because it's so many greats. And I would say, like, I would add Martin in there as well too. But like, it's so many greats. And I do like the competitiveness of what Katt Williams' interview brought. I like the competitiveness, and I would love for them to get on the stage and showcase their talent, like show who's really the best. And one thing I will say about Katt Williams, he does have about 12 specials, and every single one of them hit. And also, this is who he is as well too. That's the thing. If you really look at and watch Katt Williams stand up, or just watch anything that he does, you can that is really how he is. How the interview went off, that's exactly how he is. And just much respect to Katt Williams, much respect to Shannon Sharpe, because that was a showing. That was an amazing way to start off 2024. I don't think any podcast or interview will do what that interview did. And I feel like now everybody's going to be chasing that type of interview. But you can't have a good interview if the person that is being interviewed is not real and authentic, and they have something to promote. So, you know, the intentions are already just to sell something and market and promote. It's not an actual, real, genuine sit-down conversation, you know? It doesn't have to always be an interview. That's why I liked about the Shannon Sharpe interview with Katt Williams, because it was a conversation, and he was enlightening a lot. Amongst it being the start of 2024, some other things happen. All right, man leaps over bench to attack the Las Vegas judge during sentencing. He was trying to get his probation, basically trying to get his probation dismissed, and he got added another 6 months, and it went haywire. This man should be in the Olympics. He should be in the Olympics, and also whatever he did it, because that man he snapped. And if you also get to see the full video, you know, he was actually being genuine and talking to the judge and asking, you know, and pleading to the judge for, you know, as far as his forgiveness and how he's improved as a person. And as soon as he finished talking, she was just like, I can't with that. But you're gonna get a taste of something. And as soon as that went off, he flipped the switch. He went off. And even though I found it funny, it's still sad, because that is somebody's mother, grandmother. You know, that's still somebody's sibling who is the judge. But guess what? The people around her, it looked like they ain't care either. Like they ain't like her or something, because I thought there should be some security, some police over there or something. As soon as he jumped over, you know, they grabbed him, but they weren't really doing nothing. He was still had a hold of her, beating her up. It was another dude who was just sitting there right there just looking, while he over here fumbling with her. He like, she's screaming stop. The dude in the back trying to punch him. That was just a horrible that was a horrible job. I think every employee in there needs to be looked at and investigated for sure. And I know one thing for right now, you You got the probation extended, but now you gonna be in jail for real now. Now you gonna be in jail for real now. You went from probation to I don't even know what type of sentence you get for attacking a judge. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Nothing like that. 2024 has started. It's hectic already. It's hectic already. And also another thing that has happened that's going viral and crazy right now is what happened at Miami Mall. It was about 100+ police cars, in response to people saying they seen 8 to 10 foot creatures that was like shadows, and they was just popping in and out as like transporting in and out. Man, oh man, oh man. I'd have been out of there. And they were, and you know, the mass media, they're trying to portray it was like a teenage fight, a brawl. And it's a lot of people coming out and saying, no, it wasn't. And also I seen a couple of clips where people was trying to shoot at it. It looked kind of crazy. And there's a lot of these videos going around and resurfacing now. That's very telling. That's very telling, man. I don't care, man. Anything that's not human being, that's a creature that's 8 to 10 feet. Oh yeah, I feel like we should know about. I'm tired. Like I said, the truth will be televised. I'm tired of everything that goes on. You know, everybody, the mass media trying to mask what's actually happening. Nah, man. Nah, we need to know. We need to know what's going on. And I feel like when you do that, it causes a mass panic. But the truth will set you free. For sure. The truth will set you free. Because guess what? One thing that we have right now, we all have phones. You can't escape the internet. You can't escape your phone. You can't escape the internet. And also in some of these viral clips, the helicopter, they zoomed in on something that was walking down the near the Miami Mall when it was a bunch of melee going on. And a teenage fight breaks out and things of that nature. You're not about to have over 100+ cops there. That's nope. We ain't even gonna go with that narrative. If people said they saw it, they saw it. And y'all can laugh at me all you want. If black people say they saw it, oh for sure they saw it. Cause as soon as I see one of us run, oh I'm up out of there. You ain't gotta ask me twice about something going on with that. So 2024 has started some chaos. And what we always say, the media, it can trick you. Because like we said, Katt Williams, this interview is going viral right now. That's all you see down in the timeline. Also, you see the man leaps over the bench to attack the Las Vegas judge. You see that. You see what's going on in Miami as far as the UFOs and creatures. But one thing for certain, they unsealed some documents. And I'm not going to go much into it. But they unsealed some documents. Documents we've been waiting for since January 1st. And it's 3,000 pages long. So it's a lot of your favorites on this list. I won't go in depth, but there's a lot of your favorites on this list. And I that's one thing I always know is telling when a lot is going on in the media and everybody is looking this way and there's something going on this way. And we turn the blind eye to it. It's not, and I don't think that's for no reason. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. That's not for no reason. It is happening for a reason. So with all these things going on, shoot, I'm never turning a blind eye. I tell you that. I'm not gonna turn a blind eye because it's a lot. It's a lot going on, especially when the new year hits. And I feel like this is every year. As soon as the new year hits, it's chaos. It's chaos, man. And really. Honestly, just to quickly talk about the Katt Williams thing again, and the Katt Williams interview, I was just like, that the interview was so intriguing, just solely off the fact that a lot of these things that we talk about, you know, a lot of the barbershop talk, he was actually speaking about. And that goes into a conversation I wanted to ask you as viewers and just ask in general. Like, that's the thing. Is it a certain dollar amount to where you would do anything? The answer for me is no. All money ain't good money. All money is not good money. And your integrity and your morals and your beliefs and you believing in that man above, for sure. You know all money is not good money. And I wanna know what is if there was a number, what is a number for you that will influence you to go above and beyond and do whatever. I feel like there is no number, especially if you're talking about certain things like wearing a dress, going to certain parties where that party doesn't align with your morals and your beliefs. And that's one thing that he said that was key is God's side and the other side. God's side and the other side. Far too much. We promote these people that we look up to who are on the other side, and we have some knowledge of them being on the other side. And I respect Katt Williams for actually talking about that and exposing that. Yeah, it would be nice for them to work together, and you want certain people to make amends, but nah, I mean, it is what it is. You stand where you stand. That's for sure. You stand where you stand, because if and that's just me hypothetically speaking, if I have some friends that I know that are, or friends or people that I know that deal with the other side, then I got to step away from you. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of any of that. For sure. For sure, you're right on. For sure, you right on. But the internet will find receipt, man. Katt was just keeping it real. For sure. Hey, TikTok Live, man. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, subscribing to TheFaisonViewPodcast. Hey, make sure you guys are tuning in every single week. We got some more content coming out for you. I have a versus that's coming up. We also, me and my co-host, we're going to discuss in further what we discussed and talked about today. But I really just wanted to get to this Katt Williams interview because I felt like it was just important to talk about. It's important to talk about because a lot of the truth needs to be spoken on, and it's spoken about. 2024, it is that time. All right. And episode 400, I'm gonna have something special. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, all social media platforms, man. Make sure you guys are tuning in with me. Much love, guys. See you guys soon.